The question is, men, where are you? Where are you as a man? Where are you as a father? Where are you as a leader? Where are you as a protector? Where are you in your relationship with him? Because where you are is going to determine where you're going to go.
And now from Sacramento, California, Dr. Philip Godot.
This is your season. This is your time to go after God unashamedly, boldly, and courageously. To go after God without anybody worrying about what anybody going to think about you or what anybody going to say about you. It's time to go after God. And if they don't like it, tell them to hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So it's time to go after God. It's time to quit hiding from God and to go after God. Look what they hid themselves from the presence of God. You know, you could be in the choir, you could be on ushering, and you can still be hiding from God because you have not totally submitted yourself to God's will. You're still angry, you're still bitter, you still mistreat your wife, you still mistreat your kids, you still don't take on the responsibility that you're supposed to be doing. And you're hiding from the presence of God because in his presence is the fullness. Listen, when you get in God's presence, everything that ain't of God got to get out. Look what it says. And they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord called, which you underline the word God, called, because God called them. God is still calling today. And in fact, I'm going to tell you something. Without any reservation, this week is being a calling. God is calling this week. Oh, I wish I had some people over here. God is calling this week. This is what has happened this week. This is nothing here is by accident. God has turned things around because the presence of God is calling for you to quit hiding yourself and to step up into his presence. So that's why God had to keep shifting things around and moving stuff around, because he is still running after you. He is still calling you to come on up. Push your neighbor and tell him he's calling you. Come on, he's calling you. He's calling you. You know, I know this might not be the best illustration, but I have some dogs, and they love chasing. I got some rabbits on my property, and I got one dog that loves chasing the rabbits on the property. And her name is Yada. And when I holler at her and tell her to stop, she immediately stops. She doesn't keep going in because she's been trained to stop when she's called. Break off her behavior. Stop what you're doing. Because if you don't stop what you're doing and you keep doing what you're doing, there is going to be some penalties that are going to occur afterwards. So when I call her name out and I say, "Nein," that's German for stop or no. And turns around and starts heading in my direction because she doesn't want to deal with the penalty of disobedience. And so a lot of people don't understand that a lot of men have been going in the wrong direction, and God is calling you and been trying to get you to step up your game. Amen. Quit playing church and quit playing and trying to stop straddling the fence of the world and God, and quit trying to live a double agent life. But start being the real man that God has called for you to be, because real men step up. Real men adhere to the call of God and take on responsibility. Okay, I didn't get no amens on this side. Real men take on the call and take on responsibility. A lot of men have called themselves men and have went around and fathered kids everywhere. Like some old stray dog, just run around fathering and then want to brag about all the kids they have. And they are just as terrible as they come because they won't take on the responsibility of being the father that they need to be. You ain't a father, you're a dog. Break your destructive habits. Turn away from what you've been doing. Get back on track because God is calling you. Quit hiding yourself and stand up and start being the man that you've been supposed to be.
Any male can produce a baby, but it takes a real man to be a father.
It's a life leader.
It's really important.
It's everything.
Dr. Godot challenges men to embrace their role as fathers and be the leaders and mentors of their homes God created them to be. He explains that a father's responsibility should never be taken for granted and should be seen as an opportunity to mold and shape their children. Fatherhood. Order your copy today.